Okay, let's continue this. So this is where we stand. The red team controls much of Asia, however the blue team controls the Americas, Europe, and Africa is divided. So let's get started. The first thing that happens is the East African Federation revolts against the blue team, and red team troops march in. Yeah. But the push into West Africa is continued by the blue team, with Guinea, Senegal, and Gambia also ending. What they hope to do is to meet up with Morocco and kind of cut Africa off from the Atlantic and the red team off from the Atlantic. So they land. They actually take naval control. They then invade Mauritania, causing the country to fall. Western Sahara revolts, and from there Spanish troops as well as West African troops march in, and they are able to cut Africa off. So that's pretty big. However, the Maldives is taken back by the red team, and naval superiority is taken here, and a combined invasion into Mozambique and Zambia happens. But the blue team tries to but from there the blue team tries to retake Thailand, which they do, as well as meet up this front in Russia with here. So they push into this part of Russia, and they do meet up. And then their invasion into Laos begins. They take it, as well as Cambodia, and they re-liberate Vietnam. Meanwhile, rebels in Myanmar, they take advantage of it being unstable, and they take the country, as well as begin their push to re-liberate India. They're not viewed as invaders, however, they're viewed as liberators, so they are welcomed. So yeah, Southeast Asia is basically all fallen, and India, so all of this falls back to the blue team, which is very big, as well as Sri Lanka. Naval superiority is into the blue team's hands. However, an invasion into Angola, the red team does manage to take Angola, cutting off southern Africa. And from there, all of these countries fall, and then a force does manage to take South Africa. This is big because now Africa is being divided. However, the blue team still controls a lot of important African territory. They then invade Mali and Algeria. Both of them fall. And the red team, but then the red team, what's it called? Oh yeah, the blue team also is able to take much of Russian Siberia, and they managed to re-liberate Mongolia, as well as basically all of this part of Siberia. And now the main force in NATO starts their invasion of Russia. Actually, they don't. First, they take this part, taking all of West Africa. But now their invasion into Russia begins. Over here, they push into Siberia and take much of it. However, they are stopped at the Ural Mountains, which are about here. So much of Russian Siberia is fallen, leaving only the Russian heartland left. Many Chinese supplies are in Russia. However, Finnish troops siege St. Petersburg, and from there Moscow is so St. Petersburg falls, Moscow is put under siege, and Russia does surrender. So now the blue team is big, the red team is basically cut off. The Tanzania falls, cutting off southern Africa as well as Kenya and Uganda. And because of southern Africa, they're viewed as liberators here, the entire area does manage to fall. Now with it not looking so great for the red team, India invades Pakistan and is able to take it pretty easily with the help of rebels from Balochistan. I don't know. Troops from Italy and Algeria take over Tunisia, and Libya is taken over from all sides. Then Ethiopia declares independence and rebels break out. South Sudan is taken over, and South Sudan also falls to the blue team, but they actually they surrender. So yeah, what's it called? Now Egypt also falls, and it's not looking so great. Eritrea and Somalia both fall. Somaliland gains its independence. In the meantime, a few other places gain independence for helping. First of all, I believe South Sudan was on the losers team, right? So, yeah, whatever, I don't know. South Sudan stays independent. Israel and Jordan are freed, and Turkish troops take Syria, and Kurdistan, which gains independence for helping. A force in Pakistan is able, by the way, Balochistan gains independence, whatever it's called. I think it's like this or something, I don't know. In Afghanistan, they managed to take it over, and a combined invasion into the Arabian Peninsula begins, with troops first off landing in Yemen, taking Sana'a and Aden, and then push into Oman. Then they push into the UAE and Bahrain and Qatar. From there, a landing is made over here, and Saudi Arabia falls. Kuwait then falls, and Iraq. Armenia and Azerbaijan are both taken over by the blue team. By the way, Armenia is just annexed into Azerbaijan. There's one country. Yeah. And a invasion into the Stan land begins. They push down into northern Kazakhstan, and they take much of the cities down south. Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan both fall. I know that's in the wrong order, I don't really care. Uzbekistan, which is very populated, falls. Tashkent, the largest city in Central Asia, falls. As well as Turkmenistan. And finally, from all sides, a invasion into Iran happens, and Iran falls, leaving only China, which, let's just say it doesn't go so great for them. First of all, Mongolia takes Inner Mongolia, and that's actually a settled border. Let's just call it that. Korean troops push into Manchuria, as well as Indian troops push into Tibet, which also gains its independence, as well as Xinjiang, I think it's called. All these areas gain independence. And Beijing falls. Blue team troops manage to push. They take back Hong Kong, and Shanghai falls, marking the end of this. Yeah, that's it.